Okay, so if you've been following along with our streams, you know the last few weeks I've been developing a new scalping system that's been going fairly well. 8 out of the last 9 trading days have all been green, and so make sure to hit the subscribe button because that's what we're going over in today's video. Okay, so to understand why I've been developing a new system, you have to understand how the market has been acting the last few weeks. So for VWAP fades and bounces specifically, how I used to trade them, I need a stock in the market to specifically pick a direction. When the stock or the overall market is bouncing between the highs and lows, it's not necessarily picking a direction. A lot of the time it's crossing over and under the VWAP, and so it's very difficult to hold a trade long term with that. Because again, with VWAP fades and bounces, you need the SPY or the stock to pick a direction specifically. And so if the stock is just choppy, you're not going to have a great trade with a VWAP fade from it because it's just going to cross up and stop you out, or cross below it and stop you out that way. And again, if we take a look at the overall market the last few weeks, while it may have picked a direction slightly, most of the time it's been pretty choppy, not really picking a direction overall and just crossing over and under the VWAP. Again, this makes it very difficult to trade VWAP fades and bounces, and I think you can understand why. And when analyzing the daily chart, you'll discover that the best time to attack VWAP fades specifically is when we have these really long, drawn-out red days in the overall market. Since most stocks follow the overall market, when the market is honestly picking a really obvious downward or bearish trend, that's going to be the most likely time to attack fades, because again, when the market is fading down, other stocks are going to be fading down as well. And if we look at my TraderView stats from the last 30 days or so, you can see I actually did the best during that period of time. You guys know me, I'm mostly a short bias trader, and so sometimes I have trouble letting go of shorts and attempting longs, and that's one of the holes in my game specifically. But if you look at when the market was really bearish and look at my stats next to that, you can see that my stats are actually really good when the market is bearish. And so what this tells me is very obvious, and it's that I need to start attacking longs when the market is long. And whenever the market is sideways and choppy, I should probably only take scalps during that time, just because the market isn't necessarily picking a direction. But really, when we go back to look at the market for the last few weeks, it looks pretty sideways and choppy. I mean, sure, it's slightly moving up, but again, if you look at the 1 minute or 5 minute chart, a lot of the times the SPY has been crossing over and under the VWAP, which again is much less favorable for my style of trading. And so the first thing that my new system really involves is taking stocks that make pretty big swings during the day. I've been looking for stocks that have solid ranges, but also that have been picking a specific direction during its intraday movement. If we take a look at SQ here, here's a great example. You can see SQ usually picks a direction, at least in the last few weeks. On Friday, it maintained above the VWAP and had a lot of VWAP bounces. On Thursday, it did the same. On Wednesday, it had some really nice fades, tapping off of the VWAP and continuing down. And so those are the type of stocks I've really been attacking later on in the morning, because number one, usually the first part of the day has been pretty choppy for most stocks overall, and they'll usually pick a direction a little bit better later on in the morning. And so that leads me to attack stocks a little bit later on in the morning with my typical VWAP strategies. Another thing that I've been doing a little bit differently is that I've mostly been scalping off of these VWAP setups, to where usually I would hold a stock all the way to the previous low of the day or beyond if a VWAP fade was there. This time I'm holding the stocks much shorter, and I'm getting out very quickly with larger size. Because again, when the market is choppy, usually it's a better time to scalp, honestly, because the market's not picking a direction and you usually want to get in and out very quickly. And really, if you look at how my trading has gone via my statistics the last few weeks, you'll see that out of the last 9 days, I've only had one losing day with this system. There's still a much larger sample size I'd like to analyze, but so far so good, and I'll continue to update you all on this process as it goes on. So again, with this new system, I have been doing these 3 things differently. The first is being much less rigid with my overall trade direction and basing that off of the overall market. This includes me trading a little bit later on in the morning, with the reason being that the first hour of the day lately has been very choppy, causing my typical VWAP strategies to not work as well. For the second thing, I have been focusing on more expensive stocks with good volatility. These are actually picking directions and maintaining trends a little bit better than the stocks I traded before, And these stocks are more expensive with larger ranges on average, so I can take a smaller size and actually make more than I did with these other stocks. The last thing that I have been doing is holding my trades much shorter and taking much larger sizing for scalps. Again, this is because of how the market has been lately, and it really makes sense if you think about it, because VWAP fades and bounces will generally have at least a small follow through that allows you to take some profits at first. It only makes sense to attack those moves in this market with much larger size very quickly, especially with how choppy the market has been lately. And so yeah, doing that, I've had pretty solid results if you look at my stats. And like I said, out of the last 9 trading days, I've only had 1 losing day, which was actually this past Friday. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. If you have any questions or want to say anything about this new system, let me know in the comments below. And like I said, be sure to reach out to us with any questions in the comments section. If you want to watch us day trade live every single weekday morning for free on YouTube, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you click the bell, it turns on notifications and you'll get an alert every time we go live. So yeah, good luck in the markets, guys. I'll see you all tomorrow morning, and thanks for watching.